money or things like that, it made our relationship a bit more difficult and almost toxic. And so it sucks. I don't have a mom anymore.
Yes,
I don't
Lord.
talk to her. I miss having a mom. I feel like you can't rewind and you can't go back. I don't have that relationship
Yes,
with her.
Lord.
I don't think I will.
I think that's an important line. You can't rewind and
Ready
you can't
to
go back.
work.
We've talked about that in different porn episodes and different,
Right,
videos about OnlyFans,
work.
but that
All right.
content is
Yes,
permanently
Lord. Ready to
online.
work.
And it's wild
What
to
is
me
it?
that
What?
people don't consider that. Like, I grew up in this
All
digital
right.
age. I remember sitting
is it? Ready
in
to
classes
go
with
then?
teachers. I remember my
Righto.
parents talking to me about
Yes,
this.
me
Like, your
lord.
digital footprint is forever. I feel like that was so ingrained in the heads of my generation because we grew up
Done.
amidst all of this. And people think that when it comes to porn, oh, I can just get out of it. I can delete all my photos.
Won't
No,
work.
there's always somebody
Off I
that is
go
going to
then.
have a screenshot.
All
And on
right.
OnlyFans, what a lot of people don't
What is
realize
it? Yes,
is that
me
OnlyFans
lord.
partially
Off I go
owns
then.
the content
Off
that you
I
put
go
online.
then.
It's not all
What?
yours. You are literally giving it
All
to
right.
the public.
Yes,
You,
me lord.
quite frankly, cannot rewind.
What
You
is
cannot
it?
clear your
Yes, me
name
lord.
no matter what you do.
I
Ready
talked
to
to my
work.
dad, and he
Won't
struggles with
work.
my job being in
Righto.
the industry. He's also religious.
Job's done.
Recently, I
Yes,
wanted
me
to go
lord.
visit him, and he
Off I go
said
then.
that I can't go visit because
Won't
his
work.
wife, my stepmom, doesn't
me
want me
lord.
there. When I was like, can we go get coffee and we could go get breakfast? And he's like, I don't want to be seen in
Job's
public
done.
with you. And that just hurt so bad. I lost my family. I don't talk to my brothers or sisters. I think that they all kind of try to take advantage of
What
me
is
and
it?
stuff, or
Job's done.
they're
Yes, yes,
just,
me lord.
my
What?
dad don't want to be around me.
Won't work.
I mean,
Off
how
go
could you
then.
watch that
What
and
is
think
it?
that this
Work.
is an
Won't work.
empowering industry, that this
What
job
is it?
is liberating for women?
All
She has been
right. Yes, me
alienated
lord.
from her entire family.
What?
She now doesn't want to
Yes,
have
me
children because of her
Righto.
reputation.
Won't
It is
work.
heartbreaking stuff,
What
but
is
it is
it? Won't
also
work.
not unsurprising, and that's the
Yes,
sad
me
part.
lord.
All of this could have been avoided, and I hope that it will be for many women in the future because of stories like this being shared. Somebody commented and said, I hurt for her. It's not unexpected, not even unreasonable. I hope others learn that porn is not the easy money that some might suggest. Somebody else said it's sad. A lot of times young women don't realize the consequences when they get into porn because everyone just tries to
Yes,
preach
me
the
lord.
upside. I wonder if she would be
Off I
okay
go
with her
then.
daughter doing what she does. I'm guessing not, considering she doesn't recommend getting into this industry and
is
doesn't
it?
even want to have children now because of how awful it's turned out. Somebody else said, that's sad for
Won't
sure.
work.
Choices have consequences though, and I
Yes, me
guarantee that,
lord.
especially coming from such a
What
religious
is it?
family, that
Job's
this
done.
lady had more than just an
Righto.
idea of how they would react. She made her
What?
choice. And yeah, she 100%
What?
did. It's
All
important to
right.
acknowledge she should take responsibility. It's not a them problem. She did make this decision. And even though she makes videos like this and talks about this very candidly, she hasn't fully stopped working in the
Job's
industry. And I
done.
wonder if that's because she really
What
doesn't
is it?
feel remorse or doesn't care, or
Righto.
whether it's because she feels so stuck and pigeonholed because of her reputation and label. I'm inclined to believe that it's that she's just kind of resigned to this
Yes,
being
me
her life
lord.
at this point. She
Yes,
did,
me
though,
lord.
stop doing
Job's
porn with
done.
men because,
Off I go
shocker,
then.
it was impacting her romantic relationships. Watch
Won't
this. This is
work.
on Logan Paul's podcast.
All right.
By the way.
Ready
He
to
made me
work.
feel like maybe I should quit
What?
and stuff. And he also he told me that he sometimes didn't want to kiss me when I came home from work. So made me feel like a disgusting person I'm not
What is it?
disgusting.
How could he not want to
Ready
kiss
to
you?
work.
Mike will kiss you right now on live
Won't
air.
work. What is it?
She seems so she's like, oh, it's got the
Yes,
that's
me lord.
The forces are under attack.
I mean,
Off I go
Oh
then.
my
She's
god.
like maybe this.
Yes,
Are you guys
me
about to
lord.
kiss?
Work.
Yeah, I just have to stop that right there. It's just weird. But the important
it?
part is at the beginning. Somebody
work.
commented and said her ex made her feel dirty, but
Yes,
her
me
job
lord.
didn't.
Ready
LOL.
to
And yeah,
work.
that speaks
Won't work.
volumes. You're coming
Town
home
is
from
under
having
siege.
sex with other men on
forces
camera.
are
Your
under
boyfriend doesn't want
attack.
to kiss you
Yes,
because
me
you've been
lord.
doing that and you get
Done.
angry at him. Like it.
Won't work.
Come on, it's right there in
More
front of you.
gold
It
is
really only takes
Righto.
a little bit of understanding and common
All
sense.
right.
Somebody else said makes sense. Don't blame that guy.
Won't
Yeah. I
work.
mean, and it kind of seems like she was joking and playing coy back
Yes,
then,
me
but she got
lord.
married in 2021. And even though she has publicly said that her husband was,
The
proud of what
forces
she
are
did and did not
under
ask her to stop doing porn, did not give her an ultimatum like other people, she did stop filming with men in order to let that relationship develop because no relationships were moving forward because she was having
allies'
sex with
town
other men,
is
and so
under
she stops
siege.
doing that. Now I think she does things alone or with women, whatever. It is not.
Yes,
in
me
this new
lord.
episode of What's Left.
We are suffering right now. Just the last weekend, we had 6 femicides. That means there is a pack.
Not surprising that this was a deterrent for men. And like those commenters said, you can't blame them. But women online will often turn it around and point the finger at men, saying they're not understanding, they're jealous, they're misogynistic, they're not
allies
aggressive enough,
in
they don't
town
get
is
that
under
this is so empowering for women. Well, yeah, if all of that translates
Yes,
to
Lord.
they don't want want the woman that they are committing to be run through by other men every day, then yeah, they're not understanding. They're not progressive enough. That's fine. I don't think they would care being called that. Again, it's really not that progressive. Now, in my mind, what is even more saddening than just the impact on romantic relationships is the impact that this job takes on your soul. And Riley did not explicitly say that, but I think you could see it in her eyes in the way that she was choking up as she was speaking about her family, the fact that she literally does not have a relationship with any of them. Another young woman just spoke about this in a recent article for Business Insider, and the headline reads, "I regret doing OnlyFans when I turned 18. People treated me like an object, and the money just wasn't worth the dedication." And she said, "No matter what I posted, they wanted more explicit content. I ended up sending nude photos a few times even though I didn't want to because I felt so pressured and they were offering so much money. I would also receive terrible messages that were so degrading and I didn't see any filtering system on OnlyFans to block it. Again, it's important to remember that OnlyFans is not a porn website. They just have no restrictions, so it became one. It is not designed to protect creators, it's not designed to protect porn stars, whatever. It is a free-for-all. People think that because you own your own channel and you post your own videos, that it's empowering, it's safe. It's not, because there are literally no protections in place." She goes on and she says, "It was obvious that they saw me as an object for their pleasure and not as a person. It was awful being constantly sexualized to such a dehumanizing level. I felt terrible. All the creepy attention was making me sick. Subscribers kept asking for nude photos and offering more and more money. I found myself stepping past my own boundaries, and it left me feeling suicidal." At the beginning of this article, she was saying, I already would post, some bikini photos online. This felt like a normal thing. I would just get paid to post, more bikini photos. She had kind of set those boundaries, but quickly stepped over. And she said, "I was close to ending my life with this. I couldn't live with myself, and I felt like I was constantly on the edge of a mental breakdown. My life was spiraling, and I needed help. Though I was raised in a Christian household, I lost sight of my faith, but a family member noticed that I was spiraling and prayed for me. And through that prayer, I found my way back to Jesus." And then at the end of the article, she talked about how her faith was really what led her out of this. And I just cannot stress enough, and I know you guys understand this, but how heartbreaking that is. But what's even sadder is that all of that is predictable. And I'm so glad that she shared her story, just like I'm glad that Riley is open about the intricacies of getting into this industry. Even though she has not left the industry, I think that her honesty is so incredibly important. Because porn is 100% destructive to everyone involved, whether you are the viewer or the creator. But just because you are not creating porn does not mean that it is not bad for you. It is furthering the divide between men and women. It is lowering men's testosterone. It's lying to women about faux empowerment and liberation. And I see a lot of people online pointing fingers at each other saying, well, men need to stop watching it. And well, women need to stop making it. Going back and forth about who needs to stop first. No, everyone needs to stop.
Don't care who started it, you're gonna end it.
Stop watching it. Stop participating in it. Stop giving this a place in the market. It is a net negative for our society. If porn went away, there would be no downfall in my mind. There would be no negative impact whatsoever, and it should be eradicated. Well, guys, I hope you liked this episode. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and if you want even more content, you can follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. See you guys next time.
Ready to go then.
Orders. Our forces are under attack. Upgrade complete. Our allied town is under siege.
Job done. Ready to work.
Our forces are under attack.
Yes, Lord.
Ready for it.
Job done. Our allied town is under siege. Job done. Yes, Lord. Done. Yes, Lord.
All right, welcome everybody home. A round of applause for ladies out here.
He said very specifically, depending on the questions you ask, you could be arrested or not. And I said, listen to what you're saying. You're saying the U.S. government has control over my questions and will arrest me if I ask the wrong question? How are we better than Putin if that's true? Killing Navalny during the Munich Security Conference in the middle of a debate over $60 billion in Ukraine funding? Maybe the Russians are dumb. I didn't get that vibe at all. I don't think we kill people in other countries to affect election outcomes. Oh wait, no, we do it a lot and have for 80 years.
Our forces are under attack.
The following is a conversation with Tucker Carlson, a highly influential and often controversial political commentator. When he was a Fox, Time magazine called him the most powerful conservative in America. After Fox, he has continued to host big, impactful interviews and shows on X, on the Tucker Carlson podcast, and on TuckerCarlson.com. I recommend subscribing, even if you disagree with his views. It is always good to explore a diversity of perspectives. Most recently, he interviewed the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. We discussed this, the topic of Russia, Putin, Navalny, and the war in Ukraine at length in this conversation. Please allow me to say a few words about the very fact that I did this interview. I have received a lot of criticism, publicly and privately, when I announced that I would be talking with Tucker. For people who think I shouldn't do the conversation with Tucker, or generally think that there are certain people I shouldn't...
Ready to work. Ready to work. Job done. Forces are under attack. What is it? Righto. Our allies' town is under siege. Job done. Yes, my lord. Our forces are under attack.
This game's gonna be great.
Job done.
I'm very excited.
Back to a special word. Job done. This one was an unexpected special occasion because Taco then developers behind the game that's just been revealed. Job done.
All right.
This is from the guys that created Road Redemption, which I featured in my Road Rash retrospective.
Wait, this is a game where you just drive around and hit people off of motorcycles? That's amazing.
Our forces are under attack.
Oh my god, what a good
game.
game.
By 4 of these guys. Why don't you introduce yourselves and your studio?
I'm Ian Fish. Our studio is now called Redemption Road Game. And I'm the main coders of the project, co-founder of the studio.
Yeah, I'm also a co-founder. I'm Paul Fish, and I'm a programmer too. Everybody at these is actually a programmer.
And I'm Daniel Blaze. I'm another co-founder, and like I said, coder. We also do a lot of the project, everything related to the project.
There it is.
Our forces are under attack. Job done. Our allies' town is under siege. Job done. Alright, so we have 3 founders, 4 programmers. I like that stuff. So yeah, this game kind of came out of nowhere. You guys just kind of showed up. Forces are under attack. Working on it, and I was like, okay, what is this?
Yeah, this trailer went crazy. I think it got like over 20 million views on Twitter whenever it got released.
Open it up. Looks like it's just a regular strategy game.
Yeah.
Then this happens. And I'm like,
yeah, I was just like, whenever I saw this, I said, what the fuck?
And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to reach out and chat with you guys about this. And we're going to talk a little bit about the technology, all this kind of stuff. But I actually kind of want to start on the tech side, since this is DF. And first of all,
yeah, that was one of my concerns. Is like, how is it going to run that many players?
I don't know anything about the underlying tech yet. This is the first time we've spoken about this. So why don't you put the basis? Using a Unity, or is this all from the ground up? Like, how's this all run together?
We're using the Unreal Engine. But so there are different aspects of the tech that's really special. Using both to push this generation forward. You know, this is not something that can run on last gen. This is a next gen game. So one of the aspects is the rendering, and I can talk to us about that. So, you know, in a medieval battle, historically you would have thousands and thousands of soldiers.
This is the one thing that's so important that so many of these medieval games get wrong.
The light is with us.
There's not a lot of people there. I thought there was like 5,000 people in this area. There needs to be a lot of people here. You can't have a battle with like, 200 guys. It's the scale, yeah. It feels awesome.
And that's not something you do with traditional skeletal animation. Especially if you want the fidelity you get with a third-person shooter. So what's happening is you're actually looking at vertex animation that is being computed on the GPU. So basically what happens is every frame of these animations these soldiers have is written to a line of pixels in an offset texture that actually tells you where the vertex should be. And then there's another texture that's all normal for all of the
essentially, like the shaders run that animation most of the time, or for most of the soldiers. That's how we have thousands of soldiers.
So instead of the skeletal animation texture, it's all vertex animation. But it's not going to vertex animation shader, which maybe has depending one or two. It is a full-fledged blend space. So you have 8-way walks that blend into 3-way runs that can blend into, a fight.
I just saw how he just shoots the fucking horse and the horse goes down and just dies.
More lumber is required.
But just watch this.
A fight and
Allied town is under siege.
And then you might notice from the trailer, these guys are wearing different types of helmets and those have weapons and shields. So those are also separate meshes that have their own versions to keep them in position.
And those are also powered partially through Niagara.
So every soldier you see, every helmet, every shield, every weapon, those are all individual Niagara particles, and we're communicating via various data interfaces with Niagara. It's all in C++, obviously. To basically every single frame, what is the rotation of each one of these particles. We're also typing in, for instance, an integer which defines the color, so you have 5 teams of soldiers, thousands of different variations, all within a very small amount of protection.
Well, how do they end up figuring all this out? But these big companies like Starfield, like my ship blows up if I have like 5 things on the floor. Like, how's that work?
Job's done.
Like, I don't get it.
Under siege. Job's done.
Yeah, I'm not understanding this.
And then, once the player starts to interact with these guys, they do become skeletal, and that way we can have another 1,000 animations.
It does like a seamless twist. You can't even tell.
That's what I was going to ask about, right? Because I noticed, like, we've seen big crowds.
Until they actually get interacted with and then become skeletons. So that's probably a good idea. Wait. I feel like that's like the exact opposite of loading everybody's stash tab inside of the city in Diablo 4. Like, that's the exact opposite.
But the amount of fidelity,
yeah, what the fuck?
All that stuff. Plus, it also seems like when you actually attack them, they sort of take on regular physics properties.
Yeah.
So as you plow through a crowd of guys in the truck,
Forces are under attack.
It's smart. I feel like this is the main difference.
Allied town is under siege.
Yeah, we spent about 4 years.
I wonder why other companies don't just do this, because I feel like the way they explain it, where they're just basically making these characters particles until they get interacted with, I feel like that's just like a better idea, right? You have a target? 4 years? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, the live games take long time. That's normal.
Get the skeletal guy. What actually happens is the skeletal as the player hovers his crosshair over, or in the case of the car, once the car is within meters of him.
This for some reason gives me PTSD, like in Remnant 2, where like you put your cursor on like the guy's head and they go like this.
Job's done. Allied town is under siege.
So we're constantly these guys skeletal under the hood, and it's all seamless, you can't even tell.
And all the code is like very custom to like seamlessly switch these out. Like we've written our own animator entirely that drives all the animations.
Yes, there's every animation. Emergency is also a skeletal version of that. Wow. Guys walking out.
Yeah, and that's how we can keep the performance so good, so we can run even on lower end systems.
Jesus.
Our town is under siege.
Ultimate epic battle.
Our allied town is under siege.
One is skeletal, but another is the fact that even the vertex animation is so much more advanced.
That's like another thing that's really important, is I feel like in a lot of these big games, every single NPC looks exactly the same. And this game has a lot of variance between individual units and the different types of things that they have, right? So like you look at the different horses or like, the helmets or something like that, because it makes it feel more authentic.
whole
I'm curious though, how many of these guys roughly
Currently, we are holding it to 4,000 at once. But
only 4,000.
Yeah, but technically we could probably go higher if we wanted to.
We definitely can go higher at the cost of like trade-off performance. We're still working on that.
Oh my god!
I'm curious of how much of the very wide.
Allied town is under siege. Yes, my
4,000 units on the screen? That's insane.
Certainly a lot.
Easy.
Light is with us.
Allied town is under siege.
We're not using
So this is one thing that I think is very good to hear. Because Lumen and Nanite are like the different tools that Unreal has to basically make processing large areas, environments, like dynamically, it makes it better. But like not using it at all makes it even easier. Because nobody gives a fuck about the lighting on the tree. Nobody really cares about this. It's not a real, like, what? Like, I want to see a massive fucking army of dudes on horses ride over and all try to kill one Abrams tank. That would be fucking badass. I don't care what the grass looks like. That's not part of it.
So, you know, we really profile constantly. Profile up in the Unreal Insight. Yeah, it's costly.
That's why it's not that costly. Because it's highly terrible. That's how we do
So that's another thing that I'm curious about.
Job done. Job done.
How does this actually function in terms of
Our forces are under attack.
Well, I'm gonna let you talk about this, but
like Agger radius, right?
One thing about the AI that
Like, I mean, look at this shit, bro. Like, this is so limp. This is so limp. Like, look at this. They're just sitting around. Like, who does this? Like, what the fuck? It's awful. Look at that. That's fucking crazy.
We would have had castles that are intricate, that are 4 stories tall, that have 100 rooms. We want the AI to be able to pathfind through these 3-dimensional
Oh my god.
So no compromises here. We want the real thing.
Yeah, so it's like we have an AI that's heavily...
Because like at the end of the day, nobody cares about how well these mountains look. You know, oh, are these mountains shaded properly? Who cares? Wait, does this play well? Does this look cool? Okay, then it's good.
Optimized, heavily multi-threaded, that can run with like extreme detail and like as good as enemies that interact with
Yeah. So they actually brought me on because I was working on making my own map. So a lot of our buildings made it so that we can make 4,000 guys all use Madness pathfinding at the same time, which has not been easy. The amount of Unreal code we're actually running through at this point is very small. But of course, we still use the Madness. We have all custom.
You see how like it looks like in this, every unit is moving in a somewhat individual way, versus like in those other games, it just looked like basically Age of Empires 2 with better graphics and a different angle.
Completely separate thread, and then make sure that it all gets handed out to the soldiers in ways to
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
soldiers, cavalry.
Yeah, see how
even more
look at that. That's amazing.
on the thread.
Like, dude, is somebody who grew up playing I always, like, if I was a matchup, this is what I was hoping. Yeah, I was legitimately for that. We have multiple customers
Our town is under siege. Job done.
Especially the horses, they like to target more than
Job done. Our allies' town is under siege.
Because, like, unlike a game like Total War, where you're constantly looking overhead and you can micro your guys and, like, order them around, like, that's not happening in the game, so our AI will be a lot smarter. Like, the cavalry has to run autonomously, intelligently, to, like, charge to the right. You know, like, you can redirect them, but they charge legions far more intelligently than your normal RTX.
So with all this stuff, the nav mesh, based on what I've seen in the trailer, then it seems like they are actually how does this function gameplay-wise?
Forces are under attack.
How does the enemy in the
Done. Under siege.
Is it going to be missions that actually
This is
tiers, bases, and the same crowd system that we navigate?
Yeah.
Part of the game is that you are trying to
Off I go then.
Can you fucking imagine that? We hit an entire fucking fleet of boats.
Our forces are under attack. Our allies' town is under siege.
So, and it doesn't, it involves, you know,
We say unite, remember, Ian? You're not taking it over, you're helping unite it.
Wales or Scotland.
Fuck yeah.
So, that involves, you know, building up castles and creating other these castles. It's kind of very sandbox kind of way. So, you know, you get places that's real
I hope that,
map.
like, if this game does well, they approach it in the same way that they did with Age of Empires, where they added, like, the Aztecs, and they added, like, the Spanish, and, like, the Conquerors expansion, and then they had, like, you know, I want to see, like, you know, Hannibal's army, like, of the Persian elephants and shit like that, right? That'd be fucking awesome. And so, yeah, I would love that. The Vikings, yeah, not just the Vikings as well, Byzantines, yep.
A lot of time.
The Mongols, yeah.
You'll go and you'll engage these castles.
Yeah, I really hope this is successful.
So, this is essentially the latest attempt at late 90s. The idea here is action with strategy. So there is RTS elements here. You're taking actions and sort of the granularity, which I would say is something that is generally missing for those types of games.
I think one of the really good, like, ways that kind of got meshed was actually Warcraft III. Like, Warcraft 3 was the first game that I think really meshed the two between, like, action and strategy games, because you had, like, the individual unit of your hero that you could make individual plays with. You also had, like, the large-scale RTS. That was the first game that, like, really did it.
I'd like to hear that.
It's crazy to think about, like, how back in the day Blizzard was, like, groundbreaking.
Off I go then. Alright, yes, my lord. Our allied town is under siege. Forces are under attack.
What the battles are like from that perspective.
Our town
Generally,
under
like, what is
siege.
how does
Yeah.
Well, so, like, the battles are huge, right? And you're a player in them, but you can also go up and order your units around. And yeah, that's pretty much kind of your
Yeah, so, you know, we wanted
Grenade.
to focus first on the service. We wanted to make it
Forces are under attack. Allied
visceral
town
and
is under siege.
Oh, we haven't mentioned, yeah, the game is with all these
So how
bot process. So, we really wanted to make sure you're having fun with the show. So kind of the idea is, if you went back in time, really powerful force in the battlefield.
Yeah. So you're the WarcraftIII hero unit.
But you'd have this army that is at your command, so you'll take a look at the battlefield, you'll put this in, the archers over here, you're over there, and you say, hey, you know what, my mace, puts their kind of down by maybe spearing cavalry over there, my rocket launcher, comes back my motor by drive on over there and charge.
Yeah, and actually, you'd be surprised. Like, even though you have all these modern weapons, when like 100 horses are bearing down on you, it's still pretty hard to fight them.
Well, yeah, it's a balance of player power versus also the army power. It plays a part. Strengths and weaknesses of the army power. Talking about basemen over here, realize it's basement one. But there's a certain amount of strength of your army.
Yeah, this is nuts, bro. This is so cool.
In addition to player power, because
I don't know.
But yeah, like how do you go out there. And like there are even like custom enemies specifically catered to their like personal experience. They're like target you and enemies.
Oh wow.
And like archers that take cover and are trying to
Yeah, I'm spending a lot of time to make sure that the AI is
I think that's it's like the AI for the game. It's so bad.
Yeah. How you handle it in such a granular
So the shield isn't actually broken, it's just
under siege.
And it's like, the thing is, that's such a good idea, right? Yeah, that's so good.
This is part that we break off, and so we just set the material instances.
Elegant solutions, yeah.
This thing is broken part. One of six broken.
Right. And the shields are actually like really important because depending on what gun you're using, you can maybe pierce through the shield. If you have like a Desert Eagle, but if you have a little submachine gun, like it'll shatter the shield, but it won't go through.
Yeah, every
Do not
has a
fear.
penetration strength.
Very
So
well.
like
Our towns are
under siege. So your assault rifle and
So I feel like that's the overarching. It's a trick. It's still tricky.
town first.
Those two doesn't. Yeah, it's smart.
Allied town is under siege.
Right. Yeah, so we're back. Yeah, we're back to like.
All our models are pretty much handmade and very optimized for burning.
Yeah, the distance anyways.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
So, is that, I don't know if it's been said. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I agree.
Our forces are under attack. Our town is under siege.
What about actual like realities? Because one of the things that we're close to all the way is this going to be levels or is it supposed to be?
Even Rotor Dungeon itself was a big like it was procedural, but there were also elements that were like huge crap.
That's usually the way that I think a lot of procedural generation should go. It's like, for example, you know, like in Diablo, you go down and it's like you're going this way, and then you go around, and then there's like a stairway, and then you go down, and then it's over, and then down again, and there's a pathway up at the top where you can look over at the bottom of the stairway. Like, these are like generally like, yeah, you guys know exactly what I'm saying. It's a tile set, yeah. And so I think that's generally how a lot of procedural generation that works, is that they have like their own areas they kind of put in, and then the procedural generation fills in the cracks in between. So it looks like that's probably what they're going to do with this.
Our town is under siege.
I agree.
That's why I've seen a lot of them. That's like how Starfield works too.
Procedural, but all the sheets are built out very carefully.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I really like that game.